Hi, Sandy here. This is my family room. This is an addition we put on our house about 14 years ago. There's a sunroom through those doors. I have a Mickey Mouse collection, and I collect so much stuff. And when I designed this room, I wanted a library, an office library, and I imagined this end of the room, maybe walled off into two separate rooms with an office and then the walls lined with books. And then I had the good idea of building a wall there. So then I have two sides for books here. This is one library. And then on this side of the room we built a second wall with books with shelves on both sides. And that's our office. That I didn't clean the house for this video. Today I want to revamp my libraries. This is my dog cage. This is one of my dogs. She's like 7.5. She's a good little girl. This one over here, she's about a little over 2. We just got her. She was 1.5 years. We got her last November. She's been chewing up the sofa downstairs. She's been getting in trouble, and I don't want her in my libraries getting at my books, so we have this big cage here, and I keep it there to keep her out of the library. But I'm going to move this out of the way. So this side, I collect cats. I collect so much stuff, it's ridiculous. And I'm going to retire in less than 2 years, and at that time I want to open a booth at Brass Armadillo, an antique mall, and sell a lot of stuff. Like a year and a half ago, I packed up most of my cats and cleared this wall, and I have my books here. I'm just going to very quickly show you. These are all Agatha Christie. These are all Mary Higgins Clark and her daughter Carol Higgins Clark. These are all Janet Ivanovich. And then down here I've got the Cat Who series by Lillian Jackson Braun. And then I got some V.C. Andrew books. I read some of them and I got tired of those. And then I've got a whole lot of Irma Bombeck books. Taylor Caldwell books, and then the TV show Castle. There's some books written by, not the actual character, but supposedly written by Richard Castle. And then going up, these are all Stephen King books. These are mostly Stephen King books, and his son Joe King, and his wife Tabitha King. And then Dean Koontz. Back up a little bit. There's 2 full shelves of Dean Koontz, and then another shelf of the Odd Thomas and some of his series books. And then down here are miscellaneous books. And then moving on, James Patterson. Oh my goodness. He just keeps on writing books. I have the Alex Cross series, the a Women's Murder Club series, the Private series, a lot of series, and then standalone books and short stories. I'm working on my 5th shelf of James Patterson. And then I'm reading down here J.D. Robb, which is Nora Roberts. This is a series about a detective in the future. It's funny and pretty good. And then John Saul. I'm working on reading John Saul books. And then over here, I like paperback books, the mass market paperback books, because they take up less space and they cost less and they're easier to handle. And I've got some old hardback. I got a lot of these from my dad's side of the family when somebody passed away and he took stuff out of their house. And then Gothic romance. I have a lot of those. They usually have covers like this, a mansion or a Victorian house, kind of. They're mysteries. They're mystery romance. They're not like Harlequin romance, which I don't much care for. Yeah, so I've got 4 full shelves of those. And then Nancy Drew. I never read Nancy Drew when I was a kid, but I collected them for my daughter and she wasn't interested, so I read them. And I've got the entire collection. It's mix and match. It's not all one, you know, edition of the hardbacks of Nancy Drew, which extended that shelf. These shelves are 3 foot long. And then I've got a lot of the Hardy Boys, a little dark under there. And then more of the later paperback Nancy Drews, written in the late 80s and early 90s. And so that's my book collection. Everything on these shelves that I just showed you, I have read. It's been like 40 years, but I have read all of this, and they're like trophies to me, and I just really get a thrill out of seeing, especially my collections of certain authors. So then we'll back up here. Up here are old greeting cards. I had a lot more than that, those 3 boxes, and I purged a bunch of them. Those boxes are empty up there. All across the top here, these are Nora Roberts books. I have some of them on the bottom, so because I have written, they're like trilogies and series, so I have them numbered, the ones laying down, so I can see what trilogy and whatever they are. And those are standalone Nora Roberts. So then I still have 8 shelves full of cats. I'm going to pack those up. I'm tired of the cats. And then over here I've got a lot of like coffee table books and various other books. Then down here I've got the Family Handyman magazine. I used to subscribe to that down there. I'm going to get rid of those. And then Home Handyman, some old books. Those are so outdated. Those are like from the early 60s. We do things differently now. I'm going to get rid of pretty much everything on that bottom shelf. Pack up the cats. And then here I've got some old newspapers and old magazines. Some are from the 60s and older. They look pretty sloppy. I've got some old Bibles. This is a German book Bible. I'm not sure if the dog got to it. This is an old Bible that was my mom's. And it wasn't expensive or anything. I don't know. I should probably get rid of that. She's been gone 40 years. And then I've got more books and stuff and some Victorian magazines and stuff. I'm going to fit out some of that stuff. I have a typewriter and a typewriting instruction book. And I do glue books, which are like collages. And these are the old vintage scrapbooks, like your grandparents used to do, and I've covered the pages. And then these I bound them myself. This one, I do 8.5 by 11 pages and cover them on both sides. And I do collages. That's a hobby of mine. And these are all of the collages I've made. Oh, hold on. Well, I'll put that back in a little bit. So this whole shelf is collages. And then this is my books to be read shelves. That's my book that just fell off the shelf. Anyway, so these are all more J.D. Robb books, which will eventually be on the other side. All of these will eventually be on the other side. These are some more, right here are some more Gothic romance. And Dorothy Eden, I just recently ordered all these off Thrift Books, so I've got almost every book. There's a few that are hard to find, so I'm trying to get those read. And then some more James Patterson. These are mostly have been released in mass market paperback. The newer books are still in hardback or the bigger size paperback, which I wait for the mass market because they take up less space. And then I've ordered all of the John Saul books that I haven't read off of Thrift Books. I'm working on those. These are some kids books I want to read. These are the last of the Nancy Drew. These ones sticking out here. trying to get those read. And I read one Nancy Drew and then one of the others and one Nancy Drew, so I'm getting through that. So these are my order I'm reading next. These are some greeting cards I've gotten in the last year or so. These are some bookmarks. This is some Victoria Holt and Gothic romance to read. And then I've got photo frames down on the bottom shelf and some bags here and a bunch of binders. A friend of mine gave me these binders. 1 inch is just, I don't know, I just haven't really found a use for those. And then I have 2 full sections here of scrapbooks. I'm a scrapbooker. I've been scrapbooking since my daughter was born 21 years ago. I've got all of our family portraits. Every year we'd get our portrait taken. The first few years my daughter was little, we'd do it every few months as she grows. This is myself and my husband and our life together, and group photos of our family, like Christmas and stuff. This is my wedding album, my honeymoon album. We went to Disney World. Somebody gave me 2 baby books when my daughter was born, so those are the first 2 scrapbooks of her life. This is her baby book that I bought when she was little, and I never really filled it in because I was recording her life in her books. And then I don't do year by year. I fill up a book and move on to the next. Some years there's a lot going on, other years not much, so it doesn't go year by year. I just keep, whenever I fill up a book. But this entire book, age 14 months, age 4, age 6, age 9, and then as she got older, you know, we're not having you know, trick-or-treating and all those things that little kids do, so it kind of thinned out over the years. So we're up to book 19. Book 18 until she was 2018, and then 19 is a special edition, which is her senior year, her senior portraits, first job, graduation, and starting college. And now she's engaged, so like ours above, I consider when you're married, you get 1 section together. So Rich and I don't have our own books; it's our life together. So now they're not married yet, but they will be. And so this is their life together. And then I've got pictures of our houses, previous homes, and our current home, before and after remodeling, stuff like that. And then I got a whole shelf of vacations. And then our pets. We take a lot of pet pictures. And then I think this whole shelf on the bottom is all vacations. I'm not showing you very well. And then up here, my husband and I have been married 23 years. The daughter is ours. I was married for 18 years to my first husband, and he died of cancer at 38. We had no children. But the orange books are his life and his family and ancestry. His uncle started doing ancestry genealogy and got me interested in it. So I've got that, and our vacations. And then bowling. My husband bowls, so we got a book of bowling stuff. I have scrapbooks of my jobs. Over the last 40, I've been working almost 45 years. And these are, you know, you meet people and make friends and history of your workplace and stuff like that. And then these yellow books are my parents and siblings and their children and grandchildren. And then these blue books, it's grown so big. I worked at a drugstore for 18 years. I made a lot of friends. There was a lot of history in the store. And then Friends, these 2 yellow books. And then all of these on this shelf are genealogy. And then these are pretty much all genealogy. And then these 2 books, I have 7 siblings, so my husband only has 2, but his family gets together all the time, so we get a lot of pictures. So that's family group pictures, holidays and stuff. And then down the bottom shelf is his parents and his 2 siblings and their children and grandchildren. So that's my scrapbooks. And then Over here on this side, I have this gate. I just moved it so I can get in there to keep the dog out of there because he got a hold of a couple of books and chewed them up. But we've got this whole shelf of M&M collection, and then oh man, more up there, and then an overflow of Mickey Mouse stuff, and then just a bunch of junk. And my daughter, I started saving all of her. My parents never saved anything. We have no baby pictures, no nothing. So I go the opposite direction. I go overboard. So I saved all of her preschool, learning how to write and art and everything, grade by grade. And I got to the point where, see, I made nice covers for them. And then about here, I'm like, we don't even look at these books. But I've come this far. We're going to keep on doing it. And so we went through. See, the 12th grade, I didn't even mark the book. But we're going to go through and thin all this out and make it down to 1 or 2 books of her school years. But it was fun, and it's interesting to see. This is a 3-foot long shelf, and it won't all fit, and it's there. This is all the paper she brought home from school, everything. And then down here, we got her coloring books. This is her library, my daughter's. I only have one child. She's got a lot of science books, like history, science, biology, all kinds of stuff. What are those? Oh, those are some books that her grandpa gave her. And then up here we've got, I got an old laptop box. I saved stuff. There it is. And then we've got Dr. Seuss on the top. Arthur the Armadillo, Berenstain Bears, Scooby-Doo, Mercer Meyer books, Rugrats. We've collected a lot of series like the A to Z series, the Magic Treehouse series, Junie B. Bloom, Junie B. Jones, Little House on the Prairie. And I've read everything on this shelf and everything on this shelf, and all of these. And then we got some junk on this shelf and some more book series, and I've read a lot of those. And I've got these Carolyn Haywood books. I found these at a antique sale for $1 a piece, and I read these books when I was a kid back in the 60s, and they were printed before that, so I have several of those. And just books and books. And she's got, I don't even know what all. She's got an entire shelf of Barbie books, and we got a lot of dog books. And then we've got this Barbie stuff. I should probably pack that up. She's big. And then I've got all this Avon I've collected for the last 40 years. And I haven't collected any for the last 20 years or so. But I want to get rid of that. I may not pack it up this time. But even on the top shelf, I got Avon all the way across the top. And then we've got all of our movies. I don't want to get rid of my movies. I don't know. And more Avon in front of the movies. And this whole section is movies and Avon. So that's what is on my shelves in my libraries. And I want to revamp them today. So 18 minutes just to show you the before. But we'll be back. I'm going to pack up some stuff and move a few things, and we'll get back to it, and we'll watch the progress. Bye. Okay, I've got 4 boxes of cats packed up. They're dusted and wrapped in paper. And then I've got, here we go, making a mess. I've got 1 box full of all those handyman magazines and books. I'll have to ship that into 2 boxes. That is just way too much. So here we go. Haven't done anything over here, but I've got these shelves cleared where the cats were, and this bottom shelf. So now I'm going to move some stuff around. Okay, I've rearranged some shelves, and I've got this whole shelf full of Nora Roberts books. These are too deep. Those are standalone books. And these are parts of series. I want the ends showing because I have the numbers and the series written on them. I'm not going to get to those for quite a while because I have other things to read. I've got all of the J.D. Robb books here. And then there's one trilogy that I have the complete set of. And then I've got the John Saul here and various things. And then I've got my stack that I'm working on and my James Patterson and my Gothic romance, various little miscellaneous. I really like that. And then I moved my glue books here. And I decided I don't like the way this sticks out here. So I'm going to switch places. I'm going to switch these. Have my books in this section and then this here, so it won't be obviously so sticking out. And then these will probably be here too, and see, they're sticking out. I don't want them out in the aisle. So I'm going to change those around. Okay, now I've got all this stuff pulled off the shelf. It's kind of dark right there. And I've got this whole section emptied. And I'm going to move this section over there. And then I'm going to pull all these off one shelf at a time and dust the shelf. Okay, I got this side basically finished. I didn't do much with this side. I dusted this side. I didn't rearrange any of the books. I'm pretty happy with how I have them, except for over here. I moved my hardback books up to the top and shifted my Gothic up one shelf, and then so now I have this empty space because I do have a whole bookshelf, a whole shelf full of Gothics that I need to get in there. So other side up here I've got our old greeting cards. I save greeting cards. I actually purged a lot of them. These are empty boxes. These are some books and magazines, decorating magazines and stuff. There's some like Victorian magazines that I use in my glue books. These are my glue books. They were on the top shelf and now they're here where I can reach them easily. And then these are the old newspapers and our Bibles and some miscellaneous stuff. And then these are those coffee table books. I just shifted them to another shelf down on the bottom. A little bit dark there, sorry. Okay, and then this middle section, not quite middle, I've got my Nora Roberts books on top, which I'm not going to read for a while. I've got too much other stuff. And then my J.D. Robb on this shelf, and the John Saul, and other things, and my books I'm working on next, James Patterson, and the whole shelf of Gothic romance. Yeah, I need that shelf open. And I got this book yesterday, Little Women. I've had a regular copy of it, and I tried to read it. The print is so small, and I just was like 5 minutes per page. So I found this one at Half Price Books, and the print is much larger. You know, I don't mind reading a 1,000-page book. This is not quite 1,000 pages, but it's a big book. But if I want to make some progress, I don't want to just be 20 minutes reading, you know, an hour reading 20 pages. So there's my photo frames. Here's some the old Bibles. This Bible was my grandmother's. She's been gone since 1965, and she's got all of her siblings, her 11 siblings' names in there and their birth dates, and it's just a treasure to me. And then this is all just empty 3-ring notebooks. This size here I use a lot of for my scrapbooks. These I use for organizing my stuff in my craft room. But that's just all, just looks so much better. So then I shifted over the scrapbooks to this section, so they're not out there beyond you know, that side is one side is longer than the other. And I forgot when I built these shelves, they're all 36 inches wide, except for this section. There's an outlet right here, so I had to build these 30 inches, not 36. So I gained a little bit of space on this shelf for more scrapbooks because they were pretty much full. Those two shelves were pretty much full, so I got space for big more scrapbooks. And these are all the bags, and I put those neatly in this 31 bag, so that looks a lot better. I'll put that back when I put the phone down. And then I have these antique cameras up on the very top shelf. I moved those down, but I might move some Mickey Mouse over here. We're going to go over here. Last night I did some dusting. I got this entire Mickey Mouse stuff dusted. Not Mickey Mouse, M&M stuff. And the entire top shelf there. And then this Mickey Mouse I might move. And I've got a couple extra shelves to work with if I need them. Still need to work on the books. Haven't touched those except for the top shelf. I just dusted them. I didn't rearrange any of them. I dusted all of the Barbie stuff, and I dusted this first section of Avon. I've got this top shelf done. I'm working on this shelf, and I use my ironing board to take everything off. And then I've got this soft bristle brush, and then I dust off each item with that. It gets in all the little nicks and crannies. So this shelf, this side, I probably won't change a thing except dust it really good, and it's past due. It's pretty dusty. And then this side I'm going to rearrange some books, and I might go ahead and thin out these school books. I don't know if my daughter really wants to help me with that. I'm going to thin them down. The recycling bin will be full. So we're making some progress, so see you soon. Okay, I've done nothing with the books yet. I did get this entire wall dusted. It's kind of dark in places. The top shelf all the way across, 12 feet long, is Avon bottles that I took down and dusted. And then we got movies. Another shelf of Avon. These are like blank tapes, like we'll ever use them. This is all Christmas movies down here. Movies in alphabetical order. Those are Avon hands. Some Avon overflow in front of the movies. This is all Avon bells and Christmas. Movies, I took them all off the shelf and dusted the tops of the boxes. This is like my antique type Avon. I have two Barbies. I know this is very unclear. There's two real Barbies as Mrs. Albee, the Avon lady from the way back. Just various things on this shelf. These are the really old ones. Like these are from the 50s. And I used to go to a lot of garage sales and thrift shops, and I paid like $1 for most of these. Sometimes I got them like in lots. And these are really old right here. This shelf is a lot of the fragrance lines. I know this one is really old, and this one is really old. And then we got men's stuff. Okay, I know it's hard to see. We got motorcycles, ski-doo, guns, covered wagon, some cars. Yeah, it's a bowling pin. It's really dark down there. I can see, but the camera's not picking it up. More cars. Got a fire truck, a cement truck, some VW cars, Volkswagen, more cars. I got a lot of tools and kind of an Indian area. Oh, I know you can't see that. I can't see it. This is mostly animals. Frogs, bunnies, lions, rhino, various things. We got teddy bears and squirrels and mice, cats, dogs. I got several dogs. This is all birds, ducks, owls, all kinds of birds. And these are my people shelves. You can't see what's in the back row. It's just too much stuff. And then up there is more people's stuff. I know this is really blurry. I know. And then my daughter's Barbie, I got that all dusted. She's 21. We like I said, we just go to a lot of garage sales and stuff. She wants to keep this. These are like McDonald's toys, I think. We didn't go to McDonald's. We got them from garage sales and thrift shops. She hardly ever got a Happy Meal. And some of these are really tiny. Look how tiny this is. This is right under the window, so a lot of glare. Okay, so that's what I've got so far. I'm going to rearrange a lot of these books. So we'll keep going. Okay, it's finally done. I've got my whole section here of M&M stuff. I had some stuff on top. Took that down. This is our old Christmas tree. I keep that there because it's pretty fragile. And then I moved to Christmas M&M things here, and this basketball one because it's pretty tall. And then I filled up this shelf with Mickey Mouse M&Ms. And then I moved the Mickey Mouse that was on the top shelf. I moved it down here. And then this is my daughter's coloring books, activity books, flashcards, the old Viewmaster, some math stuff, encyclopedia, dictionary, our magic school bus stuff, science, no, that's poetry and cookbooks and magic and all the things she's collected over the years. And then this is science stuff, animals, sea life, bugs, travel, geography, weather, the human body, history. And then this is our American Girl collection, books and stuff. And then another series about girls in history. I've got an empty shelf. Then I moved. These are chapter books for children. These I have not read yet. I plan on reading a lot of them. There are a lot of animal books, Animal Ark and stuff. And then we've got 5 shelves here. I've read Junie B. Jones and A to Z Mysteries and a lot of books to my daughter. And then she's not much of a reader on her own. I've got Judy Blume and Beverly Cleary and Bailey School Kids and just all kinds of Junie B. Jones, and I've got Little House on the Prairie and just lots of books. I've read all of these 5 shelves myself. And then down here is girly stuff, and kind of teen stuff like Justin Bieber and some of the teen shows that were on when she was younger, Lizzie McGuire. And then she's got a whole shelf of Mary-Kate and Ashley stuff and Full House and the movies that those girls made, and then an entire shelf of Barbie books and some movies, Rapunzel and Swan Lake, and and then these are all of the children's books, younger children's books like Sid Hoff, Curious George. We've got some Dick, Jane and Sally, We've got a lot of readers. We've got some Disney books up there. We've got some Christmas and holiday books up there, right there. Just all kinds of books. So I'm ready for grandkids. So finally done. I'm exhausted. Thanks for watching. I got my this was a lot of work. This was a lot of work, getting these 2 libraries cleaned and dusted, and you know, I really have to sell a lot of it when I retire, because I figure it'll take about 5 years running an antique booth. But you know, imagine inheriting all of this stuff. What are you going to do with it? So that's, both of my libraries are all done. Maybe I'll take a quick whip over here. My room is kind of a mess. So yeah, it's been a rough 2 days. I've been working and working. Now, as far as my family room goes, now I think I need to dust these shelves and these shelves in my office side, and then my collections over there. Mickey Mouse, I gotta do my ironing now. My Mickey Mouse collection needs dusted. It's just too much. It's just too much. But yet, my house is not, my shelves are full, but my house is not cluttered. I mean, we can sit down, we can walk around. I have a big mess over there on the table from my project. I'm going to clean that up right away. But, wow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.